everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I have the very first project for the 2024 January and mini catalog and celebration catalog. So if you're unfamiliar with the Try It class, that's okay because we're going to go through it right now. I do these with every new catalog release. So there's 3 of them a year. That's totally online class. Early bird registration will be open for a couple of weeks, and then it will go to regular registration, and then the last 3 or 4 times the class has filled. So if you want to do it, save some money and do it early bird, but keep watching because it will fill up. This will be the only card of the 10. We'll make 10 cards together. As the name implies, you will get to try things from the new catalogs. So we'll use all of the new papers in the mini catalog, and then we will use a couple of celebration papers. Then we'll use ribbons. I might pull in some of the online exclusive ribbons because not all of the new suites, because Stampin' Up! Is doing online exclusives now, and that just means that you'll find them exclusively online. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a club or you have to be online or you can't order them in person. It just means you find them exclusively online. I wish it would have been called exclusively online and not online exclusives. But I may pull some of those in because the offerings for those will have more consumables, I think, has been the trend so far. So there's some cool ribbon, the pecan ribbon, and I might use that because it hasn't been in a Try It class. But we'll use 2 papers from the celebration, and then there is some celebration ribbon. I don't have a physical catalog yet, so it's hard for me to remember exactly what's in there. Demonstrators get those in early December. So that is the basics of the class. Every card has new paper, and then some other things new. Ribbon, die cuts, embellishments, punches. This one today has everything but ribbon because there wasn't ribbon in this suite. Then you get the PDF that has all of the measurements, and it's in inches only. It's not in metric. So you can take the video only class if you're overseas, but I'm not going to do the conversions. I already hate to type, and I pay my daughter to do the PDFs, and it's really nice. So it has all the instructions, has all the measurements, and because all of the 10 projects will be either a fun fold or template based, it's fun to go back. In fact, the one, if you did the last Try It class, you will see the little switch and the little flip that I have put on today's card, and you'll recognize it as the starting point for another card. But here's the PDF. This one is from the July to December 22. I should have found one that had a celebration. So you can see if you hit the little play button, it takes you to my YouTube. Every single card will have a video how to with tips. In the video, we'll go through, you can see all the papers. If it is a suite and I have the dies, you can see the dies and how they work with the papers. So we walk through the catalog. We literally start at the beginning of the catalog and we go through the catalog. And I've taken notes in my catalog so you can take them in your catalog as well. But this takes you to the playlist so you can then watch the video, because all of the cards will have a picture, measurements, and instructions here. So this is for, you can save it as a book, but then in the future you can take the card I'm going to do today and switch the papers, and you can keep that as a template forever, and you can kind of switch it up yourself. So I'm eager to see those of you that took, is this one? No, it's another holiday class. I thought maybe I was going to show you the card if it was on here. So this is the last holiday catalog. So you'll get that. It's super fun. Everything comes cut and ready for you. You don't have to have anything fancy. Paper cutter, adhesives. And today, I mean, there's no stamping. So if you want a sentiment, you can add it. The card I'm going to do today is using the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. And when the class comes out, this one, I'll redo the video so you can not have all the talking at the beginning. But this is beautiful paper, and I tell you the colors that work with it when you do you can see the pieces that I didn't use because there's still 2 of them. The colors that will match, and we just kind of have a little catalog walkthrough as we do the class. So it's fun. I love that piece of paper. I like, green is my color. I love purple, but green and orange are my colors. So there's a whole green piece of paper. So that's the paper. When you get the class, there would be stacked up all of your papers and die cuts and embossing folders, anything in the order that you're going to use them. And then you get a bag of ribbon and a bag of embellishments. So as I said, this card doesn't have any ribbon. So I'm going to use some natural twine because it looked really well. So this card is not the same size as the one that I based it off of because I'm using a different punch, because this hexagon punch is new to this catalog. So this is crumb cake, and then here's the hexagon punch, which I think is available now online because it was part of World Card Making Day. So I think you can still get this online. And then here are the butterfly embellishments that are part of the suite. So you'd have one butterfly embellishment. And then we have a smaller piece of crumb cake that's cut to the size that you need. And then I have punched out four of these out of the paper. So it's the hexagon punch and punched out of the paper. And again, you could do this for any card because I am working on my card club. I'm going to film that immediately after I film this. And the card club paper this year for this month is this. And this would be beautiful. Just switch the colors up, have a different ribbon, and it would be so pretty. So we have this here. It is 3 inches wide. I don't remember exactly how long it was because I messed with it to get it to be the right size for the punches. So it's 3 inches wide. So I want to put my punches on here so they are straight. So I'm going to take this and mark it at 1.5. So you can see it's 3 inches, and here's the 1.5. 1.5. This is my white watercolor pencil. You don't have to do this step of the card, but it really adds to it. So we're going to put this on here. And we are going to draw. Of course, it helps if this isn't moving, but I'm trying to get for you to see it. So it might be a little bit crooked, but it'll work. So there's our line, and that is half. So now the hardest part of this card is deciding which colors of paper that you want to use, because you don't want all, I guess you could have all of these if you want. That's not what I chose the first time. So I start with this. Obviously, I'm going to pick this one because I love it. These two are very similar. So when you flip it over, you see you get a gingham, and this gets this. So pick whichever you want. I'm going to go with this because it's not the one I chose on the last card. And then we have just green, but we do definitely need some of the, let's do it like this. That way they're all kind of, you don't have two purples together. And then here's a tip. You're going to want to put your adhesive on this piece. So just kind of put it here. And like I said, I cut it to be the exact size for these punches. So just go to the middle and to the edge. Middle to the edge. So this isn't really a fun fold, but I would call it a template because you can keep this and do it in the future. So I will mail out catalogs to anybody who has spent $50 with me or more since May of this year. So if you don't know, I'm happy to look it up for you. I'm happy to look it up for you when it's next week because today's the last day I'm working this week because it's Thanksgiving. But I will look it up for you. If you've never gotten a catalog before from a demonstrator, I'd be happy to send you one. Now, the first time I did it there. And the thing is to get it exactly where the white would be covered up would be hard. But this paper with the craft and the white is beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? So I'm just going to work with this. And I've drawn lots of backgrounds in the past. I love to do this. So let's do our downs first. You want to make sure your pencil's pretty well sharpened. The first time I did this, it was not well sharpened because I had just colored some snow. And that really used my pencil up. You can't get very many going this direction, but we get just enough to see the white. And then let's flip it this way. You get a lot more this way. I don't want one to be in the middles because if they're crooked, although you can use your butterfly later to cover it up. So put a couple kind of close together and then maybe one up here on its own. So we're just making our own little bit of background paper. And here's the deal. Some of you are thinking, well, you should have done that before you put the hexagons on. If you do that, then you lose your center line. And that was really the reason we did it. And some of these I did full, so you just keep coloring it until they fill in. The class will mail in mid-January is always my goal. I try to get it out before Martin Luther King Day for this particular class. But I can't order all of the stuff until the catalog goes live. So I can kind of have it designed and we can kind of know what we want to cut. For this one, when it comes to annual catalog, I can't even order this stuff to design it. So we have this. It's a little crooked. My other one's better, but I wasn't talking and I had my head over the top. So we have this. Now you're going to grab your paper trimmer and we are going to flip it upside down. And then just pop this in here. And you don't want to cut your craft paper, you just want to cut those edges off. You can use scissors if you'd rather. This is just a little bit faster and it's really easy to do. So you just put this so that you can see the cutting line is not going to cut the craft, but it's going to cut that. And this is why you just wanted to put the adhesive on here. You don't want these to be sticky, but we do want them because they're going to work for our card. It's my goal to give you as much of the papers as I can. Sometimes if we use a quarter piece, then everybody has to have different, and people will get different no matter what, because to cut as many as I have to cut for this. So I want to set this here because I want to use the opposite. So this is an opposite. Obviously, that's an opposite. Some of them are kind of hard to tell. It's this one and this one. So let's grab the ones that go this direction. Just kind of use them on the edges of your card. This goes that way. Some of these images may end up being upside down, but it's just filler. Like this one's flowers, but they're so tiny that nobody's going to notice that it's upside down. Since there's no stamping involved on this, a lot of the cards don't even have a place on the front, like this one doesn't for a sentiment, but you can always add one. And sometimes like if I use this, I might give it to you in plain paper, and then you could stamp whatever sentiment you want on it. But there's no stamping in this. We use a lot of the images to cut out. There's a adorable little set that has children on it. Those are really crooked. I did some really crooked stuff. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella. Those in between lines. I'll have to remember that when I do this on the next one, to do them a little straighter. My other card looks better. Then here's your piece of linen thread. So I know some people don't give any of these cards away. They keep them forever. But for those of you that have done all of these classes, you have a lot of cards. Give them away. You have the PDF, so you can always go back and look and recreate them that way. I know a lot of people like to use their own work for. And sometimes there's some of the fun folds. We may do one, maybe two, never more than two fun folds that I won't call them hard, time consuming. Those I often recommend that you do them with some scrap copy paper or scrap cardstock to get the feel for it. So there's our linen thread. I'll take this and use some dimensionals. You can go to my website if you're interested in signing up. My team members do get to do this class for free. My team members get all of my videos for all of my things always free. They post to our Facebook page, so they have to have a Facebook. But for this particular class, they get the packet for free too if they want. Let's put this down here. And then we're going to use the little butterfly to cover up the fact that it's so crooked. So let's pick the most crooked point. I like to bend these just a little bit. That helps. If you can't see this part right here, how crooked it is, it will help. There we go. It's probably not where I would have put my butterfly. I probably would have put it more in a panel. But when you're trying to cover up a boo-boo, and it's not horrible, it gives the country look. And then you would have these in your embellishment bag. These are the new Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. There's 3 colors. So this is probably the die cuts, and this is the most time consuming to cut these all up so y'all get one color of each one in different sizes, and then put them all in the packets. It's a job. That's why there is a limit to the number of people that we can have in the class, because there's a limit to what we are physically able to do. So here's this one. So see the colors, see my crooked lines. This is a smaller butterfly, but the butterflies, I don't have the package laying here. There's maybe 5 sizes of butterflies, so everybody's not going to get the same one because I'm not going to order that many packets so everybody gets them. But it works no matter what. You can see I've just flipped the papers over here. Look at how much straighter my lines are in that one. So as I said, registration is open. If you're on my email list, then you'll get reminders over the next couple of weeks to sign up. If you are not on my email list, you can go to my website and pop on there and join. But the link is also, it'll be at the top of most blog posts between now and the time that registration closes. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I look forward to trying it with you. Have a great day. Bye.